So I'm Agustina Satori. I'm the founder of GlamSt, and at GlamSt we do augmented reality for beauty companies. I started this company over 5 years ago, and now we are focused mainly in the US market with a big team there in Uruguay. So in terms of funding, we raised, I am from Uruguay, right? So initially I was living in Uruguay when I started this company. So we were funded a lot initially by the institutions of the government. So in Latin America, it's very common that there's institutions like in Uruguay, the National Agency of Innovation, in Chile, Startup Chile, which is a very known startup program. A lot of people from the US go there actually. And it's sort of like easy to get funding from those kind of institutions if you have a good project at the beginning, right? But then when you say, okay, I need a little bit more money, I'm gonna raise like angel fund. There are some angel investors in the region that it's a good start. So we raised from friends and family, basically in Uruguay. But there is a gap in Latin America of like what it means like angel funding to seed funding, right? So there's not a lot of funds that actually invest in seed funding. So that's when we said, okay, like if we were gonna sell our product, right? And we were trying to sell it in Latin America, but we were figuring out if that was the right market, and we realized the US was a better market for this. We said, okay, let's go all in. Let's go to San Francisco. Let's like try to close clients there in the US. Let's try to raise money in the US, which was not an easy journey. It was very hard because I came here by myself with like nothing, right? It was just with this like idea and this dream of raising money and closing clients. And then when you face the reality, it's hard, right? So I think at the beginning, as we said with the clients, it is important to build your own credibility, right? So you need to build your network. So I feel like nobody in Silicon Valley is gonna give you money because of the product you are building only, right? It's because of who you are. Because, you know, investors, even though they take risks, they don't like risks. So they want to invest in the safe bet, right? And a person that comes from the other side of the world and didn't study here or didn't work here or doesn't have a network is not the safe bet, right? So you need to break that barrier. And so similar to with the part of clients, you need to find which are those investors that can believe in you. Which are those investors that are fine with saying, hey, like she's from another place of the world, but actually like, you know, the product she's building is interesting, like she's saying she knows the market, she understands the opportunity, like, so it's important to understand who are you talking to and who can you build that relationship and that trust relationship with. And one thing that is important is like, nobody gives you money from, you know, from the evening to the morning. Like they need to know who you are, they need to have a personal reason or a trust or something else that motivates them to put money. So you need to start building the relationships, right? I think for us, the first US investor that we had, and we talk about this like after because he was the first one that gave us money from United States. Basically, we were talking about things that were not particularly the business, you know, but we were talking about like the way of working and life and you know, the opportunity of coming to San Francisco and things that were exciting. And he ended up investing as an angel investor. And I asked him like years after, why did you give me money? You barely knew me, right? Which was one of my rare cases, right? That gave me money without really knowing me that much. And he said, because you had something different, you had something special, and you were smart, and it made me feel like you had everything you needed to get somewhere, you know? So expressing that and showing that to an investor is important, right? And I feel like as an entrepreneur, many times you're so passionate about what you do that you do it without even noticing it, right? And angel investors, that, right? Like if you're going to more institutional investors, then it's a whole other world, you know? Like there you need to have traction, you need to know your numbers, you need to like understand how you're going to grow, you need to like, and this applies also for angel investors, but when you are progressing a bit like after your friends and family, you need to know where you're going, you know? And apart from building this network, it's also, you need to have a solid like plan, and you need to have a solid idea of what's going on and how are you gonna get there.